We have Peggie here. Peggie, the great, more than enough. And we're here, and I mean, we're just great, so appreciative to have you in our presence, because anytime you come around, we feel that positivity, we feel that positive energy, and you automatically, you just exude this energy about yourself that honestly everybody benefits from, you know. And we thank you. We thank you for doing that.
That makes me happy.
No, I'm not trying to suck up. I am not trying to suck up, Peggie. I'm not trying to get you to give me no candles. I'm not. I promise you. But you are great.
No,
just as great as your candles
too.
are. But
y'all are amazing.
Yeah, no, and really, I mean, just being on the show, we appreciate you taking this time and just coming on. BreezinoutATL, you know, we're focusing on individuals in Atlanta breathing on their purpose, breathing on purpose to uplift themselves, but in the process, they're doing it to the city as well. So, you know, our last two individuals on the show, they have been from Atlanta. You know, we understand. It's okay. You are a transplant here. Where are you from, by the way?
I'm originally from Tennessee.
Tennessee. Okay, so she's originally from what part of Tennessee?
All right, don't judge me. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. Right. I'm proud of that, but I feel like a lot of times when I tell people I'm from Memphis, it's like, oh.
Well, you know, Memphis gets a bad. Memphis is a tough city, you know. Atlanta tough too. Atlanta.
Water boys.
Oh, look, yeah, we were just talking about the water boys. They and I was just talking about the water boys the other day. You better get you some water. Don't play with them these days.
This
for
is
real.
Crazy. I had a case of water in my back seat the other day, and this boy was like, "Let me get," and I was like, "Oh, what is wrong with you?"
He said, "I don't wholesale. I want $5 discount." Look,
let me get the
no, like that's horrible. See? I can't believe that. But I mean, the fact that they are hustling out here, I give them props for that. But you know, as long as you're doing it in the right way and you're not hurting nobody while doing it, you know, that's the point. But
they could be doing many other things.
They could be, and you know, we appreciate it. You know, they're helping this economy in some way. You know,
agreed.
We got to figure out ways to give back to them, honestly. Yes. Do more for them. But
yes.
Yeah, right.
That's really the key.
You know, and I think people like yourself who are, you know, creating your own systems, your own, you know, ways to uplift yourself, you'll do that eventually for others as well. Yes. So I know you're figuring out those ways, and we all are, but that's one thing, like even when you aren't intentionally trying to do it, you're doing it like with your energy, like I said earlier. So if you don't know any way of how you're breathing on purpose, you're doing that. You know? So thank you. And we love the way you breathe.
It makes me happy. Thank you.
But no, I just wanted to understand today, how are you breathing? What's going on? How's your life?
Oh, everything's good, honestly. There's so much going on. So I'm an actress. Okay. I own a candle company, PJL Candles. We just celebrated 1 year.
Oh, happy anniversary.
Thank you. Just celebrated on August 7th. And it was just so special. Wow. You know, like, I think the motto for me right now is it's all going to work out. Mm-hmm. Because on the way to the celebration, I was a wreck. I was like, oh, this was last minute and I'm never going to do anything ever again. And then it all just like, everything aligned. And like, that's one thing I'm learning so much on this journey is alignment, and how like when you set your sights on something, when you are intentional, when you are focused, and then you also put the work in, it all just aligns. And when your spirit is right as well, everything comes together. And sometimes you don't see it because we don't always see what's on the other side. We don't always see the outcome. We just see like what's right in front of us. And so I'm learning to take a second, take a breath.
There you go.
Just breathe and know that everything's gonna work out and everything's gonna be fine. So yes, I do that, and I'm also a realtor. So honestly, my whole thing, my whole steez, and also my calling in life is to help people. So everything that I do is about helping people.
I love it. I love it. And I mean, you're doing so many different things. How do you talk about breathing, taking that moment? How do you do that?
Okay, so
yeah, how do you reset yourself? Because you're doing a lot, you know.
I am doing a lot, and I'm learning that, and especially pretty much not all of it, but the bulk of it is on my own. And so I'm just trying to conceptualize everything, organize, create systems. It is not easy, especially being someone who like. I don't come from a line of entrepreneurs. I don't come from a line of millionaires or money, nothing like that. So I'm setting the foundation. I'm creating the foundation. I want to make sure that I'm creating something that my niece can, when she comes up, she doesn't have to go through the same learning curve that I did. So the way that I kind of reset is just, I'll try to like take time, even if it's not a whole day, like I'll try to take like a few hours out of a day and just chill, watch, like I'm an actress, so watching film, like studying film.
Wait, now that's not, is that relaxing really though? Cause you're studying film, you're working.
I know.
But that's your passion. That's what you like. I guess that fuels you, right?
Yeah.
I guess so.
But I am also trying to find things that are completely like, I don't have to think at all, right? And so meditating, talking, allowing myself to like talk on the phone with friends about nothing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're just like, okay, I'm working, so I can't talk for too long. But it's like allowing myself that time to like have a good time with my friends on the phone, talking about nothing.
I love it.
And just like really just writing.
Right. But you said, I mean, do you watch mindless? Because we talk about mindless conversations, mindless TV, like these shows like Hip Hops of Atlanta, all these different shows. Do you watch those shows or anything like that?
So I do have a guilty pleasure show.
What is that?
I only allow myself one of them. It's like, so either Real Housewives of Potomac or Real Housewives of Atlanta. The Real Housewives of Atlanta, I don't watch that one as much, but Potomac, I be So that is like my one guilty pleasure show. Or you know what I also do? I'll go back and watch like old shows that I really like. So The Office or Schitt's Creek. Like I really love like dry humor. And it's like, I've watched them already, so I don't really have to study them really. You know what I mean? Because I already know what's going to happen. I've seen it many times already.
Wow.
So
I know somebody that's very much like that. That's so interesting. You know what's going to happen. So you don't have to,
So you don't have to think about it. You already know what's going on. Wow. You've already like been excited about whatever it is that they offered. So yeah, I'll like go back and watch those old shows, or even like A Different World, something like that.
That's cool. I love that. Definitely A Different World. So that's, I mean, that's something that we can all take. I think is just being able to take a moment back and kind of relax and take a breath and refuel yourself.
One thing I will add though to that.
What is
and I'm learning this right now, is allowing myself to be vulnerable. So like talking to people when I'm feeling overwhelmed and like allowing someone else to like take some of that off of my plate. That is hard for me because I'm control freak. I'm a Capricorn. Right. I feel like I can do all the things. I'm every woman. It's all in me. Yeah. And so I feel like I have to like take on everything. Yeah. And I'm learning to ask for help. I'm learning, and that doesn't mean that I'm incapable. That doesn't mean that I can't do it or that I can't get it. Like, it doesn't mean that I lack in anything. It just means that I'm allowing my tribe to be my tribe. Right. So that's learning to kind of let go a little bit and be like, hey, can you do this for me? Or hey, do you mind this? Or whatever. And because it's symbiotic, right? Like we all like help each other. Right. I use the right term, right? But anyway, it's symbiotic, I think.
It's symbiotic. I agree with you.
So so I think
that's a message. That's something we can all, being vulnerable, that's been kind of a reoccurring just theme in my life lately, and I've been talking to Day about it a ton. She actually mentioned something about like just asking for help, but like I don't know if it was a comment or something. It was like struggling alone is not an achievement or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but it was something like that. It was like, just because you struggle alone doesn't make it an achievement or something along those lines. It was, but that's the real, like, oh my God. Like a lot of times people feel like, oh, well, I did it all by myself, so I'm more accomplished. But is that really the case? Did something took a hit? Is it quality, whether it was your mental, whether it was like your mental health or just anything, your pocket, everything. It could, it's a lot key. When we collaborate, when we give and take, and the same. I love that. I'm gonna take. Let's keep doing that. Let's keep breathing into each other. That's what I call it. Breathing into each other, uplifting. It's like inflating the balloon. You gotta uplift it. Absolutely. Uplifting the kite. Breathing into that.
Breathe into each other. I love that. Yes, that's so true. Especially like us, like Black people. Yes. We all kind of starting from scratch. Yes. There's most of my friends are entrepreneurs, and we all we don't have anyone to say, hey, this is how I did it. Let me show you either how not to do it or how to do it.
Yep.
We are creating the blueprint. And so us breathing into each other and telling each other our struggles, the things we're doing well, what we're learning, that's so important.
Yep.
That's key. I love that.
Oh, you're awesome, Peggy. Thank you. I feel so special. And, you know, you really are making me laugh. Like, I should not be. Got me blushing up here. No, but okay. So I'm curious to know. So you do so many things, but one of those things is creating candles. You make candles from scratch.
Yes.
Since candle itself, everything just from scratch, which amazing. First off, what does that do for you? How do you feel when you're creating candles? What sensation? What does that give you? What does that do for you?
So
how do you feel when you do that?
I love candles. Yeah. I love aromatherapy. That's always been a part of my self-care. So I was always the one, like when Bath & Body Works would have the sale, I would like just buy so many things, like to the point where like I wouldn't need to buy anything else until they had another sale, because then I'll buy more. You know what I mean? Like I would always buy like a 6-month supply.
Wow.
I'm not even joking. I still have stuff to this day, and I haven't bought from them in a while. And so
I mean, you make your own stuff,
right? So that's what I'm saying. That I was just like a candle fiend. So I love, like, if I'm having a bad day, I can just like, let me breathe in some positive energy, something like, it's just like me breathing in like a new vibe or like a new energy and like something that smells good. Like, you know, when you think about like when the food is ready, think about Thanksgiving and the food is ready and you can smell the food and you're excited, right?
Yeah,
like
definitely.
That's kind of what candles do for me. It's like, it just makes me excited, or it uplifts my mood. Even if I'm in already a good mood, it just uplifts my mood. And so I had kind of toyed with the idea of making candles, but I never saw myself as a business owner. I was like, who would buy candles for me? I don't know how to own a business. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? So then I decided to be a realtor, and I was like, okay, let me be like, I wanted to be like different. And so a part of my closing gift was always going to be a candle. So that's why I was going to make candles strictly for a realtor. I never planned on doing it outside of that.
Wow.
So then I got my license, and then soon after the pandemic hit, and I couldn't do anything with anything. I was stuck, and I was like, I can no longer allow one entity to control so much of my life. And so that's when I started thinking about what can I do? And the candles kept popping up, and I was like, nah, fam.
They were popping up in your life?
Like in my life, but also in my brain. Like,
brain,
it's like candles. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. Why would I do that? Again, who's going to buy from me? That's work. It's just so many things, right? You think about all the negative. And so I was just like, well, if there's any time to try something, this is it. Like during the pandemic. So I went through a lot of testing, a lot of like just figuring it out. And once I started figuring it out, I was like, even when I made my first candle, which is nothing like what I make now, even when I made my first one, I was just like, this is great. You know, I just felt so accomplished. I felt the process of making candles for me is so therapeutic and peaceful and just like, it's like, I love to cook too, and it's almost like cooking. So it's like, you know, you put the recipe together, you see what you get at the end. It's like, then you perfect your recipe, then you add a little extra seasoning. It's awesome.
I mean, you're a scientist too. Like, I mean, because
it's a huge science to it.
Man, like, and that's, I give props to y'all just being able to work in that kitchen the way y'all do. Like, just everybody who's able to work in the kitchen. I mean, it's really impressive.
You gotta love it. You know what I mean? And so that kind of process.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I said kitchen, but I don't even know. Do you make the candles in your kitchen?
Where
do you make them? Okay, cool. That's see, I didn't even know that. That's okay.
Yeah, I do make my candles are kind of like taking over my whole house.
Okay.
It's all over my house. But and so I, went through the testing, and then I was like, okay, what am I gonna name the business? Figuring out stuff, and then I thought about my initials, which is PJL, but I didn't want it to be my name. I wanted to stand for its own thing, which is peace, joy, and love. And that came to me because I was like, what do I want to represent, and what do I want to push out to the world? And that's why my whole brand and my energy is, I'm always trying to to send out the message of peace, joy, and love. Like that's what we all want. That's literally like all that we always want. And so if I can like just add a little bit of that into your life, like I've done my job. You know?
No,
so,
you're doing it. I feel it. We feel it. That's okay. So you elaborated on what you get from it. What do you want your customers, your fans, your supporters to get from you, from your product, from using your product? What do you want them to get? That sensation. What sensation do you want them to receive?
I want them to receive one, peace, joy, and love. Even if it's so. For example, one of my candles is called Saturday Morning, and it smells like Fruit Loops.
Gotcha.
And so people, it's like a nostalgic, and it makes them like happy. So that's more like a joyous one because it's like it makes you happy, and it's like it reminds me of like childhood. And then once the fragrance kind of settles, then it kind of smells like a little more lemony, and it's like a clean home. So it's like there's so many levels to that one. Or for example, I have one called 444, which is more like along the peace route. Because 444 is an angel number, which basically means like someone's looking out for you. So for example, if you constantly find yourself seeing 444 like just in the world just a lot, usually that just means that someone's looking out for you. And then like kind of on the flip side of the token, 444 is also a Jay-Z album. And which is to me one of like his greatest album.
That album
it was transformative, and you also see like him talking about something different, him owning up to certain things. It was a very like honest, vulnerable album, and it really like I think it made a lot of people think, right? Just on a more mature level.
Right. It did. I mean, it created a blueprint, like, investment, real estate, everything. He's trying to, exactly. He was spitting the real. He's trying to keep you real.
Yeah, and so like even kind of along that note, I feel like 444 kind of like the candle and the message behind it is like peace, meditation, someone's looking out for you, and as well as like the maturity and growth and like transformation of personal development. And then even with love, so I have another one called Garden Kisses, and that one it's like cocoa butter and cashmere, and it just smells really smooth. It's very like date night type of vibe. So I always want to make sure that I'm presenting candles that kind of go along that peace, joy, and love vibe. I've heard people that they meditate to the candles, or they use it during their yoga session. Or one girl, like, she was so excited, she had just got a new apartment. And she like could not wait to send me a picture when she bought a bunch of candles beforehand, and so she couldn't wait to send me a picture of like her lighting her candle for the first time in her brand new apartment. And it was just like, so it's that. That's nice.
That's nice. And I mean, I can personally testify. Day and I purchased some candles from you for our wedding, and your service is amazing. Thank you so much. Again, we appreciate you.
Thank you guys. Y'all amazing.
No, really though. But that say you add a little cocoa butter and anything, it just make it smell good. I always keep that cocoa butter around in my household. So whatever got cocoa butter in it, it's mine. I need that, But no, I love that. And like you say, you want your fans, your supporters to receive peace, joy, and love. And I think that's just, that's really what we all, I can't see, hate doesn't do anything for the world. It just doesn't benefit anyone. And I see hate fuels only negative. So how can we as a people move forward on that and experience or expect others to give to us if we can't give anything, if we're empty. So I think
when you move with love, you attract love.
Yeah, you attract a lot more, good things. But no, that's awesome. So I guess now, you're not from Atlanta, you're a transplant here in Atlanta, but that's okay. I'm not gonna hate on that, because Atlanta is deep with transplants again, like we said, and we love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Y'all help uplift the city, and I'm curious to know, how has Atlanta impacted you? What makes it special to you?
It's funny because when I first moved here, I was not a fan. I was like, this is not it. Because I'm so used to like the Southern hospitality. I'm so used to like when you ride down a residential street and like someone's outside, you wave to them. Y'all don't do that here. And but on top of that, what I also didn't realize, y'all have so many people from New York.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not knowing, you know what I mean? So like, you see somebody kind of wave, you like smile at them, they looking at me like I'm crazy. I was like, wow, woo.
That's transplant on transplant violence right there. That's Atlanta Southern hospitality. Now, you wasn't experienced the Southern way. That was Atlanta. Now meet somebody like Enoch or Jay Thriller. or myself, you know, and you're going to get some loving Southern hospitality.
Exactly. And someone had explained that to me. They were like, you're probably meeting a lot of people from New York. And I was like, oh, okay. But then it was also so big, all the lanes and the traffic. I was like, wow,
the traffic,
yeah. However, over time, I mean, I came here for a reason. I came here for acting. So over time, it started to grow on me. And then the more I got out into the city, the more that I'm meeting more people. And then just seeing the collaborative efforts, right? Like there's so many entrepreneurs. There's so much Black excellence here. And it's inspirational. It's motivational. And it's like, it's special, right? Because you don't see that anywhere. When I go home, if I go get something to eat, 9 times out of 10, it's not going to be a Black-owned establishment. I can accidentally go to a Black-owned establishment here. You know what I mean?
You can.
It's like, that's one of my biggest things is like creating generational wealth and creating like, being a part of like the Black economic system. And I feel like here I'm able to do that. I'm able to be a part of the Black economic system, keep the Black dollar within us, and then help us to continue to grow. Because I feel like that's where a lot of our power will lie, is in us growing our own capitalistic society.
You said it.
And you know what I mean? Like us having more money, more status, more power, more ownership, just creating all the things that we've not been able to have, or we've been held back from having for so long. I feel like we in Atlanta, we're like breaking through all of that.
And it's up to us. We're the only ones who can do it. So, and that's like, it takes collaboration. It takes us loving each other to get to that point. So when we find the love, then we find, you know, salvation, you know. So, but no, that's real. I love that. So I guess now that you've been in Atlanta, it sounded like you had a pretty bad experience with another transplant, but I'm curious to know what's the wildest experience or thing you've experienced here in Atlanta? How has it impacted? What'd you learn from it, I guess, you know?
Trying not to think of nothing bad.
Nothing bad. You know, and it doesn't have to be anything good or bad. It's just really more so.
Actually, I don't know if this was wild. It was wild in a good way. So I went to Bar Vegan for, this was special. So I went to Bar Vegan for like their opening. And I saw Pinky. I'd never like seen her in person before. So I saw Pinky, and then I also saw Dave from Dave's Cheesesteaks. I know they work alongside each other a lot. It was like seeing the two of them being so well established in their businesses in Atlanta, but them like collaborating like that. And then like just seeing like him, he was like helping like the servers, because it was crazy. There was so many people there. So on top of that, like seeing this Black woman create this risky business model, because when I first heard about Slutty Vegan, I was like, oh my God. And then they say you've been slutified.
Right. Like that's
like not,
and it's vegan. Right. It's everything.
Vegan. And I was like, this is different, and this is very risky, because a lot of people, you would just think that people wouldn't be so receptive to that verbiage. And so, but to see this Black woman create not only the Slutty Vegan empire, but then to now veer off into like Bar Vegan, and then to be there and see all these people come and it be a beautiful event. There was no fights. There were no, not saying that I see that in Atlanta, but where I'm from, you get too many people together.
It's it can
make sure you know where the exits are.
Right. It can happen. I was talking today about this. I don't know. I said it's like having 4 guys in the car. Four guys in the car usually is not good. Like it's always something. I don't know why. It's just something about having the energy of a car full of guys.
That's true.
I don't know, but it's the same way with a room full of.
Full of people. And like to see all these beautiful Black people be there. There were like these older women doing electric slide. It was a whole vibe, and it just made me feel so proud, right? And then again to see her and then to see Dave being there and like being helpful and supporting, and like all the other people, like I saw a few other entrepreneurs there, Black entrepreneurs supporting. I was like, this is like. And that I'm sure that fueled you, right? Like, so that just made you want to do what you were doing. Exactly.
Drove your mission a bit
Black
more.
excellence.
Absolutely. It's definitely being in this environment. It is contagious. It definitely has an impact on you. I mean, we're not trying to promote, Atlanta and more people coming in and like trying to flood it, but like it is a great place to live, and it makes you feel better and want to do more.
Atlanta's full of people.
It is. Atlanta is. It is. It is. It is. It's full.
It's full.
We good. But Peggie, this has been so great. Really, we appreciate you taking your time just to be on this show. We want to give you something also. It's going in the F for you.
I get a gift.
We got an Atlanta tee. We're gonna be sending your way. And yeah, so it's just a representation of BreezinoutATL, and you know we got a little hit right here on the back for you, right there in the corner.
Come on,
so
logo.
we're just trying to, we're trying to subtly hit you. You know, you won't even see it coming, but we love you and we just want you to know it, and we appreciate you, breathing on purpose and loving the way you do it.
I love you guys. Y'all are so sweet. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I had a good time.
It's been great. Thank you, Peggie. Thank you so much for being on the show. We appreciate you so much. Your energy is amazing. And just breezing out and breathing on your purpose and loving the way you do it is everything. Thank you.